previous sessions, we mapped the architecture of the eye, establishing structure with brows, shadow, and lashes. Now we apply that same structural rigor to the lips. The lip serves as the primary structural balance point for the entire face. It integrates the warmth of the cheeks, echoes the definition of the eyes, and establishes the lower boundary for all facial expression. For Dana's specific facial architecture, we aim for plush definition. This involves using product to refine the existing natural mouth, enhancing the shape you have, without the need to erase it with beige, redraw it into a new border, or box it in with harsh lines. Mastering this specific type of structural refinement creates a visual sense of total completion, ensuring that every separate element of the makeup look aligns into a single cohesive statement. This face chart demonstrates how makeup operates to regulate visual contrast around your features. When you define the complexion, the brows, and the eyes, you increase their visual weight. The mouth must carry enough corresponding weight to belong to the rest of the facial ecosystem. Dana's ideal contrast level is medium soft. The lip should remain visible without becoming harsh. It requires warmth that stops short of turning bright orange, and defined borders that avoid looking strictly outlined. We can see the mechanics of this balance by looking at the negative space. If the lips vanish into a pale beige, or if they dominate the lower jaw with a heavy, dark matte shade, the entire face fractures. Even a technically flawless eye and cheek application will look unbalanced if the lip fails to anchor them. The lip color must precisely match the established contrast weight of the upper face to make the entire look feel entirely cohesive. This wireframe maps Dana's baseline lip architecture, naturally full, romantic, and softly shaped. The correct structural action defines the natural border and blends pigment inward. We strictly avoid inventing a new perimeter outside the biological border. Heavy overlining forces an artificial identity onto this specific facial structure. It pulls the aesthetic away from the softly poetic baseline, clashing with the natural softness of the eyes and cheeks. To avoid this, we follow a strict liner protocol, where the product serves as invisible structure, sitting very close to your natural lip depth, and it must never leave a visible ring around the edges. Natural enhancement works because it respects the existing biological borders. Working within your natural architecture elevates the final look, projecting feminine polish and professional credibility. To achieve that natural enhancement, we use a 6-part product ecosystem with specific mechanical tasks. Balm softens, liner defines, lipstick colors, gloss adds light, stain leaves lasting tone, and the lip brush blends. Structural failure occurs when one formula is expected to do the work of 4. Using lip liner alone creates a rigid, disconnected outline. Applying lipstick without softening the edges creates stiffness, while swiping on clear gloss without laying down structural color simply erases the boundaries of the mouth. Plush definition emerges from a sequenced combination of softening, defining, coloring, and blending. This swatch galette maps the optimal color parameters for Dana's identity. Every shade lives in a medium-depth, warm-toned family. We can assign specific utility to these shades based on the context of the day. Rosewood delivers high professional polish. Peach rose provides everyday freshness. Warm pink brown gives the lower face a grounded, sophisticated structure. If you need a neutral option, warm nude rose acts as the absolute structural baseline. A true nude for this facial map must retain visible pink and brown tones to avoid the flat effect of concealer. Every choice in this palette relies on warmth combined with life, serving as a foundational structural anchor that supports the complexion. To prove the impact of these choices, let's look at trends that degrade facial harmony. In this side-by-side, beige erasure strips the mouth of expression, making a fully made-up face look instantly fatigued. The second risk is cool mauve. Notice how the cool undertone on the right clashes with warm neutral coloring, projecting a dull gray cast onto the skin and separating the mouth from the rest of the palette. The third risk is the very dark matte burgundy. This creates excessive contrast that pulls visual weight heavily downward, overpowering the soft definition of the eyes and hardening features. The structural fixes for these are straightforward. If the lip is too beige, blend in a rosewood liner to restore the border. If it's too cool, layer a warm coral gloss on top to neutralize the gray. If it's too dark, blot the pigment and soften the edges with a brush. Correcting these issues is simply a matter of realigning the undertone, depth, or line to restore the established facial contrast map. Beyond color, we must calibrate the texture. The natural romantic lip shape is best supported by satin, cream, balm-like, and soft matte formulas. Extreme mattes tend to dry out the expression, while heavy, wet glass shine can diffuse the structural border. The satin finish offers high utility by reflecting just enough light to look alive without looking wet. It projects composure and credibility, making it the safest baseline for professional photography and broadcast environments. Observe how a satin finish behaves in motion. A controlled satin finish holds the shape of the mouth without pulling focus. High-shine, sticky gloss creates unregulated light reflections that naturally distract the viewer's eye away from your eyes and your words. A lip's finish directly dictates its professional credibility. By controlling the shine, you control exactly where the room focuses its attention. The lip cannot exist in a vacuum. The mouth must directly echo the eye makeup and cheek blush. When one point fails, the ecosystem fractures. A clear balm fails to anchor a fully rendered eye, and a cool lip clashes with a warm cheek. To adapt to different settings, we use a context matrix. You keep your core color family identical, like your signature Rosewood, but adjust the formulation. You scale from a casual tinted balm to a gloss for social events, up to a structured satin for a professional camera setting. The consistent color family establishes your core beauty identity, while the intensity and finish prove your situational awareness. To evaluate the completed look, we use the final mirror check protocol. Ask yourself, is the lip warm? Does it bring the face to life? Is the texture plush? Are the borders defined without looking artificially drawn? Does it balance the eyes and cheeks? A harmonized look relies on a specific set of signature anchors: satin skin, high warm blush, feathered brows, softly lifted lashes, and a warm plush lip. Stick to the core architectural rules. Refine the natural border. Always blend the liner inward. Anchor your choices in warm rosewood or peach rose, and strictly avoid beige erasure. This concludes Lesson 7. In Lesson 8, we move from groundwork theory into application strategy, building your routine wardrobe to scale this identity across casual, professional, and full glam contexts. The lip acts as the final sentence of the makeup. Mastering its balance is what ultimately translates a simple cosmetic application into a fully realized, powerful, camera-ready identity.